सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। Today, the auspicious birthday of Shankara Bhagavad-pada, Shankaracharya, our Adi Guru. So, we will now read his life, a small, brief life. Shri Shankara was born in Nambudiri Brahmin family at Kaladi, a village situated on the banks of the river Purna in the state of Kerala. We know little that is absolutely certain about the date of his birth. Many believe that he was born in 788 AD. The actual date of his birth is, however, irrelevant to the value and validity of his teachings. According to Hindu calendar, the year of Nandana, the month was Vaishakha. That was on Shukla Panchami Tithi he was born. His father's name was Shivaguru and his mother's name Aryamba. For a long time, Shivaguru and Aryamba were without a child. They prayed to Lord Shiva at Trichur for 3 years. At last, a child was born. Soon after Sri Shankara's birth, Shivaguru died. The child was brought up by Aryamba with tender solicitude and care. By the time he was 8 years old, Sri Shankara had mastered the Vedic literature and was learned and wise beyond his years. Apparently, the study of the Vedas and the Upanishads had affected his mind deeply. He set his heart on becoming a sannyasin. An accident happened which hastened the fulfillment of his wish. One early morning, while bathing in the river, a crocodile caught hold of Sri Shankara's foot. He cried out to his mother, asking for her permission to become a monk, and said that if he would become a monk, the destiny threatening him with death in the jaws of the crocodile might be overcome and that he might live. Feeling helpless in the face of the danger of her dear child, the mother agreed to Sri Shankara's wish. Sri Shankara was rid of the crocodile. From that moment, he became a monk at heart and said that henceforth God was his mother as well as his father and the whole world his home. He immediately set out to go about the country as a sannyasin is bidden to do. But in answer to his mother's pathetic wish, he assured her that he would be by her side in her last days. She had only to think of him and he would be by her bedside. Young Shankara proceeded northward in search of a guru. He came to the banks of the river Narmada, where he met Govinda Bhagavad-pada, a disciple of Gaudapada. Sri Shankara requested him to initiate him formally into sannyasa. The request was readily granted. Sri Shankara thereupon received instruction in Vedanta from Govinda Bhagavad-pada. Govinda Bhagavad-pada had been known as Chandra Sharma before he became a sannyasin. After a while, Govinda Bhagavad-pada commanded Sri Shankara to go forth to Benares, the heart of Bharatvarsha, and expounded there the Brahma Sutras, the Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita in the light of Gaudapada's teachings. Just as blood is pumped to all parts of the body from the heart, spiritual culture has from ancient times traveled from Benares to all parts of the country. The first disciple to join Sri Shankara at Benares was a young man from Chola territory by name Vishnu Sharma. Sri Shankara gave him the name Sanandana. Soon other disciples joined, but Sanandana excelled them all in his devotion and service to the Guru. We are told that one day when Sanandana was on the opposite bank of the river Ganga and when the Guru called him, the disciple proceeded towards him promptly walking on the water, chanting the Guru's name. The other disciples saw with wonder lotuses spring under his feet as if to support him. This was the miracle of his Guru Bhakti, and he was from then that time called Padmapada. Later, during his travels, one Divakara brought his mute son to Sri Shankara, and when Sri Shankara asked him who he was, wonder of wonders, the boy began to reply in the form of a beautiful Sanskrit verse. The father gave the son to the Guru, who admitted him into his fold under the name of Hasta Valaka. Another person who joined Sri Shankara about this time was one Kalanatagiri from Karnataka, who sang a beautiful hymn in praise of the Guru, which is remembered even to this day. He came to be known as Totakacharya. There is a belief that the first commentary which Sri Shankara wrote was on the Vishnu Sahasranama. His writings are voluminous, including his commentaries on Brahma Sutra, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and other works like Viveka Chudamani, Upadesha Sahasri, Shivananda Lahari, etc. etc. Two incidents are recorded to have occurred during Sri Shankara's stay at Benares. One morning, when he was going to the temple of Vishwanath, accompanied by his disciples, after a bath in the Ganga, an outcast carrying a pot of liquor on his head and followed by dogs came rather close to him. Sri Shankara asked him to keep away. The man retorted, "Whom do you bid to keep away, the soul or the body?" This question opened the eyes of Sri Shankara, and he realized that the person in the shape of the outcast was none other than Lord Vishwanath, who had come to teach him a profound spiritual truth. Sri Shankara refers to this episode in his Manisha Panchakam. Another day, as Sri Shankara was going along a street, he heard an old scholar trying to memorize the difficult rules of grammar. He then felt that this kind of dry learning was not going to save any man unless he used it as a means to the higher life of the spirit. He then composed the verses known as Bhaja Govinda. Sri Shankara, it is believed, stayed in Benares for some time and then took to extensive journeys on foot for propagating the truths of Vedanta. From Benares, he went to Badrinath and met Gaudapada. He visited Kedarnath, Kashmir, Mount Kailas. During his travels in the Himalayas, he obtained the first part of Saundarya Lahari, to which he added several verses, thus completing the famous hymn to the Devi. He also procured 5 famous Shivalingas, which he installed in the course of time at Kedarnath, Pashupatinath, Sringeri, Chidambaram and Kanchipuram. During his triumphant march, he was received with royal honors in many principalities and was greatly respected wherever he went. However, people who opposed him and vehemently criticized his ideas were not in wanting. When he went to Prayag, he heard that Kumarila Bhatta, the champion of Mimamsa philosophy, was there. He wanted to discuss his views with him. When he met Kumarila, he found that he had decided to immolate himself for the sin that he thought he had committed in pretending to be a Buddhist in order to enter the Buddhist fold and learn their secrets for the purpose of refuting their doctrines. Sri Shankara was saddened by the incident, but as directed by Kumarila, he went to Mahishmati to meet Mandana Mishra, the famous exponent of Mimamsa. Mandana Mishra used to condemn sannyasins as renegades and even considered that it was a sin to see them. He was wealthy and influential and had a large following. Sri Shankara wanted to convert him to his way of thinking. When Sri Shankara went to his house, he was about to perform a Shraddha ceremony, and he abused Sri Shankara for appearing there and at such a time. But all the same, he accepted the challenge of Sri Shankara for a discussion on the fundamentals of faith. After the Shraddha ceremony was over, a sadas, a conference of pandits, was held. The discussions of the conference lasted several days. Mandana Mishra's wife, Sarasavani, who was a very learned lady and who was held in great respect by scholars for her integrity and wisdom, was requested to be the umpire. The wager was that if Sri Shankara was defeated, he should give up sannyasa and marry and settle down as an orthodox householder. If, however, Mandana Mishra was defeated, he should give up his house and become a sannyasin. Sarasavani, with her powers on the divine, gave two extraordinary garlands for the disputants to wear and declared that whoever was defeated in argument would find his garland fading, while the victor's garland would remain fresh. And it happened that Sri Shankara's garland remained fresh while that of Mandana Mishra faded. Mandana Mishra accepted defeat and was to transform that he considered it a blessing to follow Sri Shankara as his sannyasin disciple. It was he who came to be known later on as Sureshwaracharya and became the first head of the Sringeri Peetham. Sarasavani too graced Sringeri, and a shrine stands there today dedicated to her worship. In the course of his travels, Sri Shankara exposed the crooked and evil ways of many organizations going under the name of religion and strove hard to establish the Upanishadic faith. He incurred the displeasure of men belonging to sects like Kapalikas, who used to practice sorcery and indulge in human sacrifices. When one of the Kapalikas approached Sri Shankara with a view to behead him, Padmapada, his faithful disciple, though not nearby then, had a premonition of the danger of his guru's life, rushed forth to his side as if impelled by some force, and was instrumental in saving him by encountering the Kapalika and killing him. During his wanderings, Sri Shankara had a premonition that his mother's end was near. Remembering his promise to her, he went to her side, losing no time. What joy it must have brought to the dying mother can easily be imagined. Though he was her son, he became her guru then and enabled her to meet her death with unshakable faith in God. The end came peacefully and quietly. The Nambodiris of Kaladi objected to Sri Shankara, a sannyasin, cremating his mother's body as being contrary to the orthodox practice. They shunned him and left him severely alone. He cremated the corpse in the backyard of the house itself. Then Sri Shankara cursed the people of the village for their hard-heartedness and declared them unfit to study the Vedas and entertain sannyasins. After the obsequies of his mother were over, Sri Shankara resumed his travels. He visited Sri Rangam, Jambukeshwaram, Tirupati and other places in the south. In Tiruvakottur near Madras, there is evidence to show that he changed the mode of worship at the temple, thereby stopping animal sacrifices. Then he proceeded north along the east coast. The mutts established by him have continued to function through the centuries at Kedarnath, Dwaraka, Sringeri and Puri and Kanchi, and the institutions of worship initiated by him in many temples continue his traditions to this day. The sannyasins of the order of Sri Shankara are called Dashanamis because they are recognized by the 10 appellations of Tirtha, Ashrama, Vana, Aranya, Giri, Parvata, Sagara, Saraswati, Bharati and Puri. When Sri Shankara went to Kamrup near Guwahati in Assam, he met Abhinavagupta, a Shakta leader, and defeated him in argument. In revenge, it is said the follower of Abhinavagupta injured Sri Shankara's health by occult means, and as a result, he began to vomit blood. Padmapada nursed him and took him to Kedarnath, but Sri Shankara had done his work in this world, and entering a cave, he disappeared in the Himalayas at the age of 32, according to one version. According to another version, he came back to Kanchipuram and spent his last days there. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.